Hey, what's up people? Michael here. If you want to partner your YouTube channel up, check out the link in the description.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, they want to come out of the gate strong tonight. We've heard them talk about establishing the upper hand right away, not sitting back and playing it safe in the early stages. And guys, you think about it, in a lot of ways the San Antonio Spurs are the league's model franchise. Despite the small market, relative lack of media attention, all they do, Shaq, is
win, win, win no matter what. You look at the coaches and executives that got hired away from San Antonio earlier. The Spurs organization is like a tree whose branches are spreading throughout the league, and the chlorophyll is just igniting all the other teams and all the other GMs to just flow.
That's and a magical analogy.
Like flowers.
It's magical the way you described that.
Thank you.
I'm not feeling that. That's a copycat league. They got to stop doing that. There's other people that could do a good job other than Spurs. Not saying the Spurs don't do a good job.
So you don't like the Spurs?
No, I don't like them being copycat and everyone wants to be exactly like them.
We're blossoming.
You know, they win 50-plus games every year, but you don't have to copycat.
Really, it's like this.
Ernie, you see this cup?
Yes.
Watch when I pour water in here what happens. You see how the plant just blossoms? And it's keep growing.
It's like Shaq and the Beanstalk.
Shaq and the Beanstalk. And stop. I want it to stop right there. You see that? I'll just move it right over here. See that little flower?
Oh.
That's what the Spurs are.
It provides a nice touch for the set.
Yes,
here.
thank you.
It really
Appreciate
does.
it.
There's other teams that do
Kenny doesn't want to play this game. Kenny is not impressed.
You're not impressed by the chlorophyll?
I'm impressed by the magic show you just put on, but I'm not impressed by everybody has to get a Spur guy.
There are only so many to go around.
I'll tell you.
Kevin Harlan, you got the call.
On the road looking for a win against a Western Conference rival. The San Antonio Spurs are ready for this thing to get started. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, our game analysts. And from the sideline, David Aldridge. And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. DA?
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays every night. Coach Billy Donovan said he plays with such force and passion. He gets so intense, so competitive, so emotional, but he's doing a good job of bringing himself back together and understanding there's other guys out there depending on him. Kevin?
And that's how Russ has always been, DA, a high motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. Doris, we may not see a lot of small ball this evening. Two teams that are deadly operating on the blocks. How have they been successful with that, where other teams haven't?
Well, it's fascinating, Kev, because from a personnel standpoint, they have elected to play with size. And there's a commitment to that, pounding the ball deep into the post every trip down.
Ready to go?
And the Spurs start out with the ball. A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. Parker and Green are the guard set. Skilled tandem of Leonard and Aldridge at the 3 and the 4. And it's Gasol at the center, locking down the middle. The San Antonio Spurs able to put the first points up on the board. Westbrook dishes to Adams. Outside, George. Anderson setting the pick for George. Clock at 6. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Up again, and it's Adams on the follow.
Listen, we know Steven Adams is one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. You've got to have great awareness about him on the glass.
Now, here's Parker. Kicks it to Leonard. Over George. San Antonio with the new 24. San Antonio on defense. Parker against Westbrook. Passes it to Roberson. Right side Westbrook. And Westbrook throws it down hard.
You get the sense that Russell Westbrook relishes contact. He is so physically strong.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. Green, the screen. Aldridge, the pass to Leonard. It's tipped, and that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
Playing with lots of energy here, trying to cause turnovers.
I love the tenacity right now. Definitely on the prowl, looking for every opportunity to make a steal. The other team has got to be sharp.
And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. From the baseline, and that one drops for him.
Yeah, and from mid-range, Leonard's jump shot is money. It doesn't matter if it's off the dribble or catch and shoot. He never loses his touch.
Fires from deep. The shot, no good. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him. And he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Parker outside. The dish to Leonard. Over George. Misses off the left iron.
Well, the defense trying to get out on him, but he's left with the open shot. He's got to make that one.
Westbrook dishes to Adams. The shot. And Westbrook gets it to go on the assist by George. Westbrook's got his second basket of the game.
Well, the concentration of Westbrook, right? The defense is in his grill, and he's sinking tough jumpers.
Screened by Parker. Green kicks to Leonard. Over George. And again, Kawhi Leonard. Leonard's got 6.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Here's Westbrook. Westbrook missing again. Spurs have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Green passes to Parker. Outside, Green. The feed now to Leonard. Shoots from the baseline. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. That's now 8 points for Leonard.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
And it's Westbrook again missing. San Antonio leading. Parker outside. Outside, Green. This all setting the pick for Green. 5 on the clock. Drops in the tray. Green's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble.
Here's Westbrook. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
That one misses.
I don't know what to talk about first. The explosiveness, the smarts. This guy, Russell Westbrook, one of the best athletes in the league, and just getting smarter and smarter about how to attack.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Doris, with so many one-and-dones entering the NBA, do you think expectations are too high for these guys, especially from the fans?
I don't, Kevin. I think it depends on the talent that we're talking about. You know, I know Joel Embiid is a guy who didn't necessarily start right away, but when he was finally able to be healthy, it certainly didn't take him long to become a factor on the NBA level. No, I don't think the expectations are too high. I think these guys are accustomed to expectations, and frankly, their personal expectations are probably higher than ours.
I mean, look at the elite of these high school kids have been playing like in front of big crowds on a big stage for so long. It's second nature to them, don't you think?
No doubt about it, Kevin.
Now, here is George. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
Yeah, Kevin, it's a must that you contest Paul George, especially from the mid-range. This is a dominant shooter from there.
Here's Ginobili, leading by 5. There's the pick. Laverne, great positioning on the putback.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Oklahoma City's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. There's a screen by Cantor. And here's George for 3. Rebounded by Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
Now, here is George. Manu Ginobili unable to get his shot to go. And there's the pass to Abrinas. They get it back. Tries again. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And there's the call. San Antonio the foul. For Oklahoma City, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. The first one falls. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
And Grant drops them both.
Well, I like how Jeremy Grant continues to work on his game. The jumper is coming along, and he remains an exceptional defensive player.
Mills dishes to Gay. They set the pick. "14 feet away, and he hits the jumper for 2.
And this is an area where Gay is especially dangerous. A terrific mid-range scorer.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. There's a screen by Cantor. A 3 from George. Rebounded by Manu Ginobili. Spurs leading by 7. Off with the layup. And so it's San Antonio, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We've got more in store for you right after this. And one of the most competitive men ever to play this game, Manu Ginobili, spoke with us about this year.
Just rely on what happened in the past, then you're stuck in the past. And we, many of us, maybe our last shot, our last season, we don't even know if we're going to have another season. So, you know, we want to do as good as we can.
Well, the fire is still there, but the energy and the ability, guys, to get it done physically, let's face it, at this point, Ginobili's mostly gutting it out.
Still, you know, though, he'll either beat you or go down just a tough individual.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
Well, the commitment is evident, and they are simply phenomenal at their aggression on the defensive end right now.
On the wings, Abrinas and George. Enes Kanter is out there with Grant, and it's Kristen in at the point. That's the group for Oklahoma City getting going here in the second. The shot's good from Kanter.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Before his injury, Rudy Gay had made some strides on the defensive end. In general, Greg, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes for his impact on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Gay has always been a great ball hawk. I mean, he's got long arms to pick off lazy passes. He gets a good amount of blocks for a wing player as well. Very much so underrated when you talk about his defense.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Spurs have never been the flashy team in the NBA. Tony Parker said beautiful basketball is playing the right way. Ball movement, pure, beautiful basketball is the way we've played. You have all sorts of fans, and there should be something for everybody. Kevin, he told me a long time ago, if we were in New York, people would love us.
And during Popovich's time in San Antonio, the Spurs have always played together, D.A. Got to respect their team-first approach to the game. Free throw good. Mills. Once in a while, we talk about the makeup of a good teammate. But, Doris, what are some ominous signs that a player might be in it for more himself as opposed to team?
Well, I think anytime you see someone who's not committed to practicing at the important times, somebody whose availability might be in question, who might let a slight, I don't want to say injury, but a nick or a bump or a bruise, limit their availability, that's obviously a difficult thing.
Sure.
And, the other part is, Kevin, the players that I think have the most success are those that can be as joyous about their teammates' success as they are about their own. That's something that strikes me about the Golden State Warriors. It's a group invested in the group's success, and you see that both monetarily in terms of what some players are willing to give up, and you also see that basketball, someone like a Klay Thompson who has to be effective in fewer shots with the addition of Kevin Durant.
Good breakdown. So it's the Spurs now after Oklahoma City gets the three. And Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now.
And great hustle to turn that block shot into a fast break opportunity. Big time play on both ends.
Pass to Murray. Feeds it to Mills. Trains the three-pointer. Mills has got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Spurs.
That's his second bucket from range this quarter after hitting none in the first.
There's a screen by Kanter. Down low. At the tip. And Kanter able to finish. Kanter's got 4 points in the quarter.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
There's a screen. And Mills kicks to Laverne. Gay outside. Left side Anderson. Shoots over Kanter. Anderson's shot is off.
Boy, terrific defense to impact the shot, not giving him any space at all.
There's a screen by Kanter. Kristen kept alive. The second effort. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut to just one on the basket from Kanter.
Now really found his stroke here in the second quarter after missing everything in the first.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And the Spurs last season, how about setting the all-time record for consecutive winning seasons with 20? This is a group that's won 50 or more games in every one of those seasons except the strike-shortened one in '99.
for Oklahoma City, Patrick Patterson. He's checked in for Enes Kanter. Andre Robertson comes in for Grant, and Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Chris Dunn. The Spurs have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. And Greg, for the Spurs, they're so competitive. It's inevitable. They just win year after year.
Yeah, but that big three of Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili, the all-time winningest trio in the history of our league, had a lot to do with it. And as that era comes to an end, they're doing a terrific job of just picking up new star talent without skipping a beat.
Here's Roberson. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Westbrook passes to Roberson. Westbrook against Parker. Pulls up on the wing. Rebound San Antonio. And the wide open shot from Green. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Oh, he'd like to have that one back. He'd almost never get that wide open a look.
Outside Westbrook. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Boy, what about last season for Russell Westbrook? Not only the numbers he put up, but the jaw-dropping plays he delivered, and he helped this Thunder team to a season where many thought they'd be out of the playoff picture. He gets them into the playoffs. Incredible journey.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. And for Westbrook, you have to look at his season in a historical context. It was so great. Doris, his contributions to his team in every facet of the offense, and how much his team depended on him from start to finish.
You're correct, Kevin, and it's not just the average of a triple-double, right? It went beyond that. It was his competitive spirit and a willingness to absorb the loss of an all-time great player, put his team on his back, and get them back to the playoffs. Truly incredible.
Now here's Parker. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Leonard. That one rolling around and rims out. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 6 of 9 in the second quarter. Some good work from the field. And it's Abrines in the corner. Sinks the triple. Abrines has got 6 in the quarter.
After a shaky start, boy, he's found the range. Good second quarter for him.
Spurs trail by 4. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Aldridge a screen. Parker dishes to Green. Spurs working the ball around now. The Spurs rebound. Aldridge. And Adams sends it back.
And LaMarcus Aldridge really possesses tremendous shooting touch when you consider this guy's basically a 7-footer, and he's increasing that range. Last season, up over 40% from 3.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Move shots.
First free throw is good. And Aldridge doesn't shoot a ton of threes, yet he still earns his keep in that mid-range.
Yeah, on that left block, back to the basket, and with his size, that turnaround Jay is just about unstoppable.
George is checked in for Alex Abrines. And so LaMarcus Aldridge nails them both. The one thing we saw with the Thunder last postseason, Doris, is that when Russell Westbrook comes off the floor, this team sometimes lost its direction.
Yeah, but now with Paul George in the fold, it makes sense to stagger their minutes. That way they won't have such a dramatic drop-off if Russell Westbrook leaves the floor.
Here's Parker following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Screened by Parker. Dishes to Aldridge. Parker outside. A 3 from Leonard. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5-for-8 night shooting.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
34 seconds left here in the second. Here's Roberson. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Spurs have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. 23 seconds left in the first half. In the corner, it's Patterson. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. And the Thunder lead by 1. Now Parker, quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And that one's good by Aldridge.
His mid-range game is what sets Aldridge apart from the other bigs in our league. He's about as accurate a shooter as you'll find among players with his size.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. It's San Antonio. They lead by 1. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus at that end of the floor?
You know, just knocking down open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports.
Been working out.
It was all about San Antonio as the game got going. Their lead at one point was up to 7, and they had some real nice momentum going. By the end of the first quarter, their lead was 7. Then in the second quarter, they cooled down just a bit, giving away some of their advantage, but still finished up 1 at the half. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, so far they won the battle of assists. They played more patiently and very unselfish in the first half. Good shot selection and nice flow of offense.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
The thing I like was how they were making a conscious effort to work the ball inside. They should do the same in the second half. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Whether running the offense through the post, driving it, doesn't matter. Get to the rim, and the rest will take care of itself.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. We have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
I don't think you could ask for anything more from this guy. He has been fantastic to start this one.
Doris, as we know, you were born in New York, grew up in New Jersey, lots of basketball talent in those areas. Who were some local players who influenced you early on?
Well, 1983 is the year the Philadelphia 76ers won the NBA championship, and that team was the epitome of cool, Kevin, right? You had the masterful doctor, the power of Moses Malone, but you know who I tried to emulate? Mo Cheeks.
No kidding.
Yeah, the steady-headed point guard who could make big shots and come up with a timely steal. I couldn't be the doctor. I couldn't fly like the doc, so Mo Cheeks was my guy.
On the floor for San Antonio, the defensive tandem of Green and Leonard outside. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Parker in at the 1. Now, here is George. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. And George kicks to Roberson. Outside Westbrook. Screen by Adams. Shot clock at 6. Parker against Westbrook. They get it back. And it's Adams on the follow. Adams has got the lead up to 4 now for the Thunder. Oh, no, he may have gotten injured right there. He's in a lot of pain.
And boy, this really doesn't look good. Just the way it happened.
Boy, it's got to be so frustrating for him. As hard as he has worked, doing everything he can to help his team, just heartbreaking, Greg.
And the Thunder making a change here. Chris Dunn's checked in. Screened by Parker. Leonard against Patterson. They kick it out to Green. No good on the three. The Thunder leading by 4. Pass to Roberson for the 3. But they get it back. It's rebounded by Leonard. San Antonio's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Green passes to Gasol. Leonard on the wing. 11 points in the game. Outside, George shoots over Leonard. No good that time. So the Spurs will take it the other way. Green kicks to Gasol. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Patrick Patterson.
And Gasol is a master at utilizing his strength inside, forcing the defense to become physical with him whenever he has the ball in deep.
The Spurs shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. And he can't get the first one.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hands.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Cantor checked in for Steven Adams, and Alex Abrinas subbed in for Chris Dunn. And he sinks the second. And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
And here's Mills. Patrick Patterson getting it to go from deep moments ago. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going in the offensive end. Kevin?
And David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency. One of the best two-way players in the game. The 3 from George. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force on this run.
And Mills kicks to Murray. There's a good screen. He dishes it to Anderson. He feeds it to Mills. Shot clock at 5. Step back shot. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Mills has got 9.
I'll tell you, good or not, that isn't a shot they'll want him to take again.
Abrinas the pass to George. And George with the stuff.
Well, Paul George routinely making these difficult shots look easy. He's showing how dominant he truly is.
Now here's Mills. He's got 9. Here's Gasol, and it's blocked.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
From deep, George. San Antonio with the rebound. Gasol's got his 3rd rebound on the night. The Spurs offense, one of the most efficient in the NBA. It's all predicated, Greg, on motion.
And it's ball movement and player movement. They kind of want to warp the defense and force mistakes, and that's when they strike.
Now, here's George, following the shot by Rudy Gay. Over Gay, and Paul George again. And now it's a 9-point Oklahoma City lead.
You know, after a first half of poor shooting, he is turning up the heat now.
Anderson outside to the paint. Here's Gasol. Drops it in from 14 feet away. Gasol's got 5 points now this quarter.
And Gasol excels from that mid-range area. If you leave him open from there, you're going to pay the price.
There's a screen by Cantor. Off the screen, Gay with the block. Hills with it. Gay outside. And Anderson kicks to Gasol. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
And Gasol is just so crafty, a magician, if you will, with the ball, and incredible at using his pump fake to earn that trip to the strike.
And he knocks down the first one. And the Spurs, Greg, one of the best defensive teams in the league for 2 seasons running.
And it's really all about execution. They seem to just move in concert and stay connected. No silly fouls. And with their length, nothing easy inside.
Adams, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Felton comes in for Alex Abrinas. Both free throws good from Gasol.
And Gasol is a guy who can do a multitude of things well. I mean, he scores it, rebounds it, passes it, just an all-around talent.
Now, here's Felton. He kicks it to Robertson. This one for three. Cans it from downtown.
I'll tell you, you give him a free look from three-point range, that is simply a recipe for disaster.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Ginobili kicks to Leonard. Gasol, a screen on Adams. Leonard against Adams. Good looking screen by Gasol. And the wide open shot from Ginobili. San Antonio again missing. George up top. Here's Cantor. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. Thunder lead by 8. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
Stay aggressive. You need about 8 or 9 of those. Just let them fly.
Feeling maybe some of his guys are being too careful on shot selection, I think, guys. How do you interpret Greg Popovich maybe trying to loosen them up just a bit?
I mean, you know, the intelligence and experience he brings to the game, he sees things just so clearly. Sometimes it's really just a simple adjustment.
Just 1 quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So for Oklahoma City right now, together inside, Cantor and Adams. Andre Robertson out there with Kristen, and it's George in at the 3 slot. And he makes the first.
And Tony Parker in his prime, one of the best slashing point guards this league has ever seen. Just an outstanding finisher amidst the tall players. And one season, how about he almost led the league in points in the paint, a surefire Hall of Famer.
And Tony Parker drops them both. And a bit of a down year for Tony Parker in 2017. His lowest three-point percentage in 5 years. Lowest free throw percentage in 9.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to see him hitting threes at a higher clip. The previous couple seasons, he shot it up over 40%. And a great way, I think, to boost his offense, even though he has slowed down a bit.
And here is Parker after Paul George getting his 3 to go. Here's Leonard. And Cantor pulls it down. Cantor's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion. The defense a step slow, and you can see the result.
Parker dishes to Leonard. Excellent D from Cantor.
Boy, the defense collapsing and throwing him off balance on his way to the cup.
And Robertson has it in the corner. Here's Adams. Oh, went in there down, but through contact, he'll head to the line. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
I'll tell you, Steven Adams is a load on the block. That frame makes him an impossible check.
And as you would expect, Steven Adams has grown into a larger role with this team. Really came in as a guy who could defend and rebound, but starting to become more of a factor within their offensive framework.
2.
And the first one drops. And Greg, with Adams, he hasn't just been given more opportunity to display what he can do on offense. He's earned it.
You hit it right on the head. And, you know, as an example, a guy that was a bad free throw shooter, all of a sudden he became respectable because of his work ethic last season. Much more nimble in the paint than most would think. Just good awareness, and he knows when to pick his spots.
Well, Steven Adams is a guy who understands his role. He wants to play hard-nosed defense. He wants to score it anytime he's got a deep touch in the paint. Love his approach.
But he recovers it. Roberson the pass to Kristen. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Green against George. Down low. Here's Cantor. And Cantor throws it down.
Boy, once Cantor establishes position on the interior, forget about it.
Spurs trail by 15. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for LA after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
He's checked in for Enes Kanter. And San Antonio also making a switch. Pau Gasol has checked in for Manu Ginobili. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. He was begging them to step it up. He said, we've got to make the move now, or we're going to be out of time and out of luck. Give it everything you've got out there. Kevin?
Okay, David, thanks. A chance here to get a quick injury report. And now David Aldridge has an update for us on Russell Westbrook. What's the news, David?
Hey, Kevin, I chatted briefly with the head athletic trainer for the Thunder. Unfortunately, he's saying it appears to be a broken ankle, which, if it's true, could be devastating. He'll be sidelined for the rest of this game, and it doesn't look like he'll be back on the court anytime soon. Very bad news. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Guys, the only thing you can wish for is that the prognosis isn't quite as bad as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Was really hoping for better news than that, but that does not sound encouraging.
No, I mean, this is a big blow, and it will force the team to make some adjustments, not just in terms of personnel in the court, but in terms of strategy.
The shot by George, no good. Spurs trail by 16. Here's Leonard. Aldridge a screen. And here's Green outside. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Now here is George. From the arc. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
And every set they're running looks like it's designed to produce a triple.
Well, you love how the ball is popping outside on the perimeter. It's being moved and finding the open man, and they're cashing in.
And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts, and a chance for one more here. So we'll see Pau Gasol at the free throw line here. Steven Adams picks one up.
Boy, guys, how about the offseason the Oklahoma City Thunder had? The acquisition of Paul George, one of the elite two-way players in the game, now playing alongside Russell Westbrook. Look out, everybody.
On the free throw, no good. Well, the Thunder are not one of the best shooting teams from outside. We know that. They know their strength of their offense, Doris, lies in their ability to attack the rim and get shots in the paint.
Right, because you have to consider the Thunder last year were last in the NBA in three-point percentage, yet second in the league in points in the paint. So when they are able to get inside on a team, that is when they are at their most dangerous.
And maybe pushing too hard at this point, getting a little desperate.
Yeah, it certainly looks like they're forcing it. They're trying to make quick, hard decisions instead of focusing on making the right play.
Oklahoma City leading by 17. Now, here's George. Kicks it to Patterson. Pass to Roberson. Over Green. And that one goes long. Spurs trail by 17.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Thunder.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And something we've come to almost expect is greatness from this guy. Such an overall great performance it was for Paul George.
Boy, what a determined offensive presence he has been for them tonight. He carried the scoring load, and as hot as he was, it took a ton of pressure off his teammates all night.
Adams in the high post. And George kicks to Roberson. Patterson, the screen. Roberson dishes to Patterson. His three-pointers off the mark.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And that one's good. Leonard.
This guy's pulling his weight tonight. The guys around him need to pick up the slack and start following his lead.
Here's Kristen. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.